Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 4th Pioneer Pregame. I'm your host, Karlie Guimond. I'm here with an awesome guest. We're going to get to Ann in just a second, but boy, do we have an action-packed day here in Ainsworth Gymnasium on the campus of Smith College. We have the number 15 Smith Pioneers taking on the Wellesley Blue. This is going to be their last regular season matchup of the season, also last NUMAC regular season matchup. So this will really determine where Smith falls in the playoff scheme. And we're so excited to honor some amazing seniors today, 4 of them. It's going to be so much fun here, so you've got to stay tuned. Today we're going to do a little bit different of a pregame episode because I have such a lovely person to interview, and Deb and Sam are going to take you through all the senior stuff in the pregame. So I'm so excited to welcome Ann Miller to the Pioneer Pregame today. She's the Executive Vice President of Nike and has a beautiful story to share with us today. She was also a basketball star here at Smith, a 1,000-point club member. She was the former Division III Player of the Year, and you know the best part is that she's back here at Smith today to hang out with our basketball athletes and to speak to our Smith athletes today at 6 o'clock. So if you're a Smith athlete watching the live stream, please come to the gym at 6 p.m. to hear Ann speak to us. So welcome to the Pioneer Pregame. It's so nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome to be here.
We're so glad to have you here on this really just spectacular day for the seniors and for Smith. And I just want to start off with, could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you do as the Executive Vice President at Nike?
Sure. So my name's Ann Miller. I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Officer.
Oh,
so
yes.
that means
Yes.
no, that's okay. So I'm in charge of the legal department and some other areas as well. But I've worked at Nike for 17 years.
Wow,
love
impressive,
it.
yeah.
And Nike's all about sport, and today's all about sport. And
Yes.
so it's great to be here to celebrate the women, to celebrate basketball, to celebrate Smith. It's an honor to be here.
And it's so great to have you here. You are just a staple in the Smith community and for women's sports and beyond. But I want to start at the beginning of your journey. I know you started off at a junior college, and just talk a little bit about how it was to start there, and then how did you end up transitioning to Smith?
Yeah, so I grew up in Arizona, and I played basketball at a junior college, and it was actually my junior college coach who encouraged me to come east.
Yes.
And I hadn't been to the East Coast, and I went and checked out a few schools, and I'll tell you, I chose Smith because really Smith chose me. The basketball team that was already there, they welcomed me with open arms. I felt like an instant member of the community and felt like I could make a difference. And the team was really open, and they said, get on in here, so I came.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And I totally relate to the Smith chose me. Like, that's what I tell people when they're like, why Smith? I'm like, why not Smith? The most amazing place ever where you can really just shoot for the stars, and you have certainly done that. At Smith, you were extremely successful. You were a part of the 1,000-point club, as I mentioned, a NUBA Senior All-Star, a NUMAC All-Conference honoree. Can you just speak to your experience as a student athlete at Smith, and how did your impressive basketball and student career launch you into the world of sport and Nike?
Well, I think if you're an athlete, whether you're playing basketball or lacrosse or field hockey or rowing or tennis, you got to learn to juggle. You've got a lot on your plate. I mean, Smith academics are intense to begin with, so you layer on sports, you layer on any other activities that you're passionate about, and it's a full-time gig. And so I think what was so awesome about Smith is it's your everything. It's your morning, it's your noon, it's your night, and you're in and out with different communities. You're with your basketball team. I lived in Cushing House. Shout out to Cushing.
Cush.
So, loved being a part of the house. I was the class president.
Oh, amazing.
So just in everything you do, being a part of the community, and I think that's how I live my life at Nike. I have 2 daughters. I brought my daughter here with me today to watch some really good basketball. It was that or the NBA All-Star game, and I said I wanted to go see good basketball, so we came here.
Let's go,
And so we're really excited to be here, and I just think Smith gives you an opportunity to try a lot of different things with a lot of different people and have great experiences, and then figure out what the heck you want to do going forward.
Well, you certainly are an example of taking every opportunity that Smith offers and going for it with all the other things you did besides basketball. So you graduate from Smith. Now walk me through, how do you get to Nike? What was kind of in that in-between, like, post-grad phase where everyone's kind of like, what do I do?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to start paying my student loans, so what do? You go to grad school. So I went to law school back in Arizona, and following law school, I started to practice And it was great. I was a corporate lawyer, but I'll tell you, I just missed sports.
Yeah.
I missed a team. I missed really being deeply invested in a common mission with a group of people.
Yes.
And so I identified what was missing, which was sport, and then I went to go try and fill that. And so I tried to combine my profession of the law with my passion for sport, and up came Nike. And Nike didn't want me, but I wanted it. So I just hung around. I interviewed, didn't get the job. 2 years later, interviewed again, didn't get the job.
Wow.
2 years later, interviewed again, finally got the job. I think they gave up and just gave me the job. But and then as soon as I got there, I said, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do the lawn care contract? I'll do the lawn care contract. You want me to work on a tax restructuring? I'll do a tax restructuring. I really don't care. I want to be on the team. I want to be on the team, and whatever I can do to help the team all do. That involved, I was out in Boston at Converse. I was the Converse General Counsel. Nike owns Converse as well, and so came out to Boston for a couple years.
Yeah, I love it.
Then came back and just took anything and everything that came my way. Put it on the table, I'll eat it, let's go. And so, 15 years later, had the opportunity to become the general counsel, and it's been awesome.
And you definitely hustled those 15 years. Can you just tell me a little bit about the perseverance you had to have going interview after interview, not really finding success, but you stuck at it?
Yeah.
What really kept you going during that time?
Well, I think it's how you define success.
Yeah.
Even not getting the job meant I learned a lot. I got to go through the process. I got to make a connection with someone who, was interviewing me and could have an impact on me in the future. So I didn't view not getting the job as a setback. I viewed it as, okay, I've learned something more about myself. I've learned how I need to grow, what are additional skills they wanted me to acquire, so then go out and get those. And I think in life, everything's a process. Yeah. You don't know whether you're at the beginning or the end, but you're in the middle of it, and it's only in hindsight that I knew I was 2 steps closer to ultimately getting that job. But I like to, anything I do, I like to apply 5 H's. It's like, whatever I'm doing, I've got to have my head in it.
Yep.
I got to have my heart in it.
Okay.
I got to hustle. I got to have some humility. Yep. Lord knows I screw up every day, so keep it humble.
Same here.
And last but not least, got to have some humor.
I love it.
If it's not fun, I don't really want to be doing it. So
what a great way to live.
Yeah, and you can do that when you're on the basketball court. You can do that when you're in the office. You can do that at home when you're playing with your kids. So I think injecting all of those into my life has really been a guiding force for me.
And I'm just curious, who are some of the people that you've gotten to meet along the way through Nike, through being the executive vice president and general counsel? Who has really inspired you through this journey?
Well, I will tell you my biggest mentor, if I had 2. Yeah. One would be my basketball coach in junior college.
Awesome.
Who she told me, you're not going to be a player at WNBA. So she gave me a hard truth.
Yep.
And then she said, but you're going to be a really, really kick-ass sorry, I don't know if I can swear. Sorry.
Okay.
That's right. Bleep that out. Bleep. You're going to be a great Division III player.
Yeah.
And so she said, go get that. So that was one person who really spoke truth to me and then encouraged me at the same time. Held me accountable, was honest, brutally honest, and also super encouraging. And then, so that was on the basketball side. On the professional side, the prior general counsel, her name's Hillary Crane. I worked under her for a decade.
Yeah.
She really raised me as a professional. And I think in this life, you need 1 or 2 people that offer some guidance that you otherwise wouldn't have. And I would say the bulk of the guidance was that cold, hard truth that sometimes you don't want to acknowledge. She would constantly, give me a hug, pick me up when I needed it, but she'd hold me accountable as well. So
those sound like amazing people, and we're running out of time. But I really just wanted my last question to be: I know your story's so inspiring. You're inspiring me sitting here, and I know there's a bunch of young kids on the live stream probably wondering, how do I get a career in sports? How do I get a career in the legal field? And are just inspired by their story. So what advice would you like to give the young folks on our live stream about that process?
Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah.
I know everyone said, trust me, it's a journey. Settle in. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I would tell you, really think deeply about what you care about.
The Smith basketball team, they have amassed an overall record of